All right. One more, Mayor Sidney. Thank you. And thank you for that answer that explained everything. Okay, so the next question through the mayor, obviously, to the treasurer. Just help educate me on a few things here. So I've been here a little over 2 years, and sometimes we go over budget on projects, sometimes we go over a lot. And sometimes it comes back to council before we proceed with the over budget. And sometimes it doesn't. So my question is when a project goes over budget, and we're not talking $100, we're talking $10,000, $50,000 it's going over budget. My question is we have to answer to the taxpayers out in the street, us councillors. So who's accountable? Who's responsible? So my thing is it just like, oh, we're going over $50,000 budget? Oh, well, that's the way it is. And then the staff comes back to council and says, hey, sorry, we went over $50,000 budget. Like, is there no hand slaps? Is there no accountability? Like, I don't understand how things go over budget, and then it's just like, I just know if I had people going over budget in my businesses, there would be consequences and there would be accountability. And I'm just wondering why that doesn't happen sometimes or all the times here. Yeah, if you could just educate me on this, because I'm totally confused. So thanks.
Yeah, Treasurer.
Thanks for that question. So we do deal with change orders, and they're the same as the procurement policy. So if it's under a certain value, then the department head and the treasurer will sign off on it. If it's over, I think it's 50,000 to 100,000, then the treasurer and the CAO has to sign off on it. So we do that. Some of these change orders that have occurred due to overages on some of these projects is, number one, biggest thing we've seen is some of these change orders, they were included originally and then were taken out for some reason. And then it's become quite apparent that those needed to go back in to the overall design. Then there's other projects that happen that for whatever reason they were instructed not to include, say, a storm sewer as an example, replacement. And then once the design work comes back, and this is approved by council, why it went over, that that design and the construction had to be included. So there's different ways. There's always a contingency, but on several of these projects this year, because of the inconsistency and other staff that were previously here, not throwing any particular person under the bus, but taking things out, and then all of a sudden we realize that those items need to be put back in to actually complete the project, which it's detrimental not to do it. So as an example, a storm sewer, if you're not going to do the storm sewer, replace it, and it's in really bad shape, why would we do everything else and pave it, and then 4 years later have a real big issue with the storm sewer and then have to tear the new pavement off, which will be more detrimental to the ratepayer, and then have to repave it. Plus it's, so there was a lot of that this year we found. It seemed like almost every project we hit, and Ms. Bishop can comment on some of those issues as well in the appendices.
Good.
Okay.
Just to thank you for that answer, because I think that's important, because sometimes we as councillors forget how the process is, and it's frustrating, and we get it on the street, right? So this is why I asked this question. You answered it perfect. Thank you so much. Now I have the answer if it's brought to my attention on the street again. So thank you very much. I'm very happy.
And I'm very confident that we'll see changes on the next projects as we have the new staff follow from start to finish. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of staff turnover in the middle of projects, which I think has made it very frustrating on the staff. They're doing a fantastic job, and we really appreciate that. But I think moving forward, when we have staff from beginning to end, we'll see a change in that. So, any other questions from council to the treasurer? Councillor Degree.